They're looking in here. Okay, so is there a chair anywhere for me? Oh, there's a chair right. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go
I
there.
took your chair, didn't I?
You stay there. Yeah, but that's okay. I have these two things.
Okay.
Let me put these two things on my chair here. Okay, so I wanted to do an evening of my poetry, some new stuff and some stuff that's not so new, but because I have a pending third spine surgery for my terrible scoliosis, and it'll be an 8-hour surgery, and they'll fuse me an inch from my neck, and it'll be about a 9 month to a year recovery. So I'll be out of the world. I'm still we're still getting second opinions left and right, but a lot of people think that scoliosis, if you fuse them, that you're cured. That's not the case. A lot of times it causes all kinds of other problems, and they have to redo it again and again and again, and go higher and higher and higher, which is what is happening to me. So, I thought it would be fun. It's an experiment to have Francine and Mark do their fun sounds with the poems. Hold your applause to the very end of the show. They're going to play a little bit before, then the poets are going to read with the sounds, and then they're going to play a little after. So hold the applause. I'm also supposed to tell you, there's some really hard poems. I write about suicide and my mental illness and my pain, my chronic pain, and for a long time, I thought it was all my fault. And I want to thank my therapist who's here, John Viola, because he finally made me realize, no, it's really not. And when you hear my work, and hear what my childhood was like, it'll make sense to you. And then also, don't worry about me now. I'm okay. I'm not suicidal. About a year ago, I finally relented. I realized that one of the things that was making me so crazy was my unbelievable pain. And I would take it. And I finally decided we need to be on pain meds, and I am. And now that allows me to be out in the world. Yay. So I'm all for it. And anything else, honey? Did I miss anything? Okay.
Easter egg ladies. 4 eggs, one for each girl, hollowed out and decorated by us with yarn for hair, felt dresses, and magic marker faces, placed side by side in a basket of pink confetti, delivered by our mother to Huntington Hospital in Pasadena. There they sat at your bedside, cheering you up and reminding you that your favorite holiday was near. It was almost Easter and your girls were waiting to celebrate. No one loved Easter more than you. No one loved Jesus more than you. Jesus had celebrity status in our household. His love, his forgiveness, his ultimate sacrifice. It was everything. Surely God would make you well for Easter, and the Easter egg ladies would somehow clinch the deal. I pictured those ladies sitting by your bedside, telling you to go home. Go home, they would say. Go home. Everyone's waiting to celebrate the resurrection. 4 brand new dresses, 4 Easter bonnets, 4 pairs of patent leather shoes. Easter came and went, and still you did not come home to us. And then it happened. The thing we were forbidden to talk about by you. Death. 48 years ago today it happened. April 4th, 1970. 6 days after Easter, you died. The egg ladies didn't close the deal. And God didn't save you, even though you loved Jesus the most.
My scoliosis. Oh, scoliosis, my lifelong companion. At age 13, pain becomes a daily thing. I grow a hump on my back. I cleverly hide this from my mother with baggy, oversized shirts. I think it could be cancer, and no one can take that again. The ruse is up. I have a 60-degree curve in my lumbar spine. 11-hour surgery. They fused me from L1 to L5. I wear a gigantic, solid plaster cast that encases my entire torso for 9 months. My mother helps me sponge bathe. I wear muumuus to school. At some point, it starts to stink. She pours baby powder down the sides. In summer, a sweet and stinky stench emanates from the top. I make friends with humiliation. Age 24, the pain sets in again. I wait tables at a veggie cafe in Santa Barbara. Half the staff are lesbians who study massage therapy and acupuncture. During breaks, they massage me and stick needles in pain points. They truly want to help me. Age 31, pain will no longer let me garden. I have 75 pots of flowers in Echo Park. I give them all away. Age 36, the instrumentation has a crack in it. I must have a complete redo. 8 hours. They replace all the hardware, and I am fused from L1 to the sacrum. My husband and mother take care of me for the first 2 weeks. I sleep in our bed all by myself. He has to rotate me every 2 hours and bolster me with pillows on my back, on my side, on my back, on the other side. I ring a bell if I'm in trouble. When he stands me up, I scream because I am in so much pain. He screams back at me, "What do I do? What do I do?" It's really gnarly. They take me off my heavy pain meds. My pain is still otherworldly, the kind that people take a gun to. I cry and I scream at the same time in the apartment, only really, really quietly, because my husband is trying to get a few hours of sleep. He works nights to keep us going, so my friends take care of me. They have a schedule and everything. They call me baby because I am like one. Everyone has to do everything for me. They empty my porta potty, help me shower, and towel me off afterwards. My mound staring them in the face. Again, I make friends with humiliation. Mid-recovery, still in my brace, I haggle all day long with insurance companies. Apparently, porta potties are luxury items. Suddenly, and out of nowhere, I get the most amazing gift. I realize without a shadow of a doubt that I am truly loved. Some people never get to know this. I am the luckiest girl alive.
Dropping the ball. After you died, I started washing my hands until they bled. Mom put Vaseline and mittens on them when I went to bed. We didn't talk about it. It was 1970. The worst had happened, but nobody talked about it. I came to my own conclusions. When we got our new dad, we moved into the big Spanish-style house. I got my own room. I was 10. I started my counting rituals then. Before I went to bed, I'd close all of my windows one at a time and count as high as I could go. Then press my fingers hard against the windowsill. Safe, I would say. I'd do my closet too. Safe. I had to keep us safe from evil and spiders. My mom would yell across the hall from her bedroom, "Turn out the light! What are you doing in there?" I'd run and turn out the light, but continue in the darkness. I couldn't take a chance. I had dropped the ball on my first dad. I wasn't going to do it again.
Lipstick. I can't throw anything away. It's driving me crazy. I hang on to lipsticks from 20 years ago. Ugly ones, nude ones, brown ones, ones that look like shit on me. I painstakingly go through a whole drawer of these lipsticks, trying them on to see if they look good. Does this one look good on me? I ask myself. This one? You never know. I think trying on the nude lipstick, which is the color of an old beige filing cabinet. Never mind that I've worn red lipstick almost every day for the last 20 years. I have 20 different shades. Shade is important. I manage, finally, to throw out 7 lipsticks, and I shove the drawer closed on another 40. Ick. Yuck. It's disgusting. I'm a lipstick hoarder. But it's not about the lipstick, and I know it. As soon as I think about it, still filling up those holes, after all these years, still, you're 47. It's always there, the hole. I can see us now, my sisters and I all lined up at the gravesite, 1970, 4 little girls staring down at their poor dead dad sealed away in his coffin. We like things. My sisters and I, we are materialistic. We give things too, yes, but we all like our things. Our accessories, our clothes, our decorations, our lipsticks. I used to go crazy if I lost something, turn the house upside down trying to find it. I feel sick, physically ill, panicked. My sister Jennifer once told me that if she lost something, she'd have to go out and replace it immediately. Like an expensive pair of sunglasses, she'd run out and replace them at once, even if she was at work. And she'd try to get the exact same pair. It wasn't a choice. She'd have to, so she wouldn't feel the loss. But I'm better now, I tell myself, aren't I? I lost my favorite black scarf the other day, and I told myself that it was okay. I actually talked to myself out loud in soothing tones. It's okay, I said. You can buy another. It was only a Target scarf. You can buy another. About 3 days later, I was better. and I haven't bought another black scarf yet. I can wait now. Take it slow, casual. Phew. Breathe, breathe. But the lipsticks, I don't know. I want to throw out half, but I can't. It's always there, the hole. I can see us now, my sisters and I, all lined up at the gravesite. 1970, 4 little girls staring down at their poor dead dad, sealed away in his coffin. We are bottomless pits. Throw a lipstick or a pair of sunglasses in and you'll see. We'll gobble it up.
The cycle. My family has a history of violence, and I am in pain for what I went through. It still hurts me today. I long to be rid of it. My family has a history of violence. Hitters who have been hit, hitting over and over and over. From grandfather to father, from father to daughter, from daughter to son, from son to sister. My family has a history of violence. I have hit my poor younger sister. I look to my niece, having no children of my own. It's in your hands now, I think. Can you stop it? Others could not. It's up to you, I think. It's all up to you.
Scaredy cat. When I was 7, I spilled paint out in the garage. My grandmother told my older sister, Shauna, that she had to say that she had done it because I couldn't take it. The belt, that is. That was the price for mucking around in the garage, for breaking one of my dad's rules. Corporal punishment on our bare butts. She did it. My dad dragged her back to his bedroom, kicking and screaming the whole time, and gave her a whooping. That was the way of things. Yikes. Years later, I asked my mother about it. Having been raised the same way my dad had, she said, "Yep, you were always a scaredy cat. It was almost pathetic to hit you."
Small victories. Folding laundry. Back hurting. And sciatica shooting down my leg. I realized that I've pushed it too far again. It never stops. Pain. Never stops. Never stops. This one, that one, then over again. I just rotate the pains. Then I notice that I have 7 pairs of socks and that each one has a partner. Not a single lone straggler. First time in my life, I think. Every single sock has a mate. I breathe. I feel rewarded, deeply fulfilled. A major small victory.
The bad ones. We got everything confused in 1970 when we were still little girls, and before anyone would ever talk about something so horrible. Your dad's gone to be with Jesus, they told us, and he is much better off. We were supposed to be brave and carry on. At night in the dark, we'd clutch our dollies to our chest and we would think, "I love you so much. I miss you so much. I love you so much. I miss you so much." We got everything confused in 1970 when we were still little girls. They lowered your casket with all 4 of us lined up dutifully next to our veil-covered mother. We stared at our shoes, and when we looked up, we saw them. Every single solitary person that we had ever known staring back at us. We had been picked out from everyone else, and now we were different. Completely and totally altered for the rest of time. We closed our book on you, Dad, and opened a completely different one. One where everyone we knew, everyone we ever really loved would leave us. The Tonys, Toms, and Tims of our world. We had picked them especially to leave us, my sisters and I. At night, in the dark, we'd light our red candles for love, and we'd think, I love you so much. I miss you so much. I love you so much. I miss you so much. We got everything confused in 1970, and we knew that. If we had just loved you well enough, if we had just prayed to Jesus hard enough, we could have saved you. You were a minister after all. If we had just been good enough, we could have saved you. But we were the bad ones.
Promises. I always break my promises to God, like the last one, December. I will never smoke another cigarette again if... Done. Promised. Stamped by some sacred seal that I have been using since I was a child. I've smoked 3 cigarettes. I will if. I will if. I will if. The if is the thing. I have some sort of collateral with God, a bargaining chip. We barter. I have some things I want to happen, and he makes them happen if I am good. Tit for tat. And so it goes with God. I can't seem to shake it. So I tell my husband that when I die of lung cancer, I will live in the painting of the 3 Victorian houses that we bought in Santa Barbara. I'm going to live in the blue house, I say, on the wall in your living room. I'm going to sit upstairs looking out the window at you and your new wife smoking cigarettes given to me by the devil.
This world. I've been quietly and steadily trying to talk myself out of this world, telling myself it's always been a little too much for you. How would you really cope without your husband? Not forcefully pulling myself out of the thing altogether, just calmly collecting the reasons in my head for why it might not be too good for me. Just not a good fit, I tell myself. Nothing wrong with the world, really. The problem mostly lies with you. You're just a little too much, a little too nervous, too overthinking and anxious for it all. Best you two part. No one's fault, really. You were born this way. The world shouldn't feel bad, and neither should you. Always just a little too fragile for it all. Think back to when you were just a baby. You banged your head against the crib over and over again each night just to sleep. Even then, the world and you not getting along so peacefully, with one of you methodically thumping on the other for calm.
Camouflage. Another day of trendy clothes to hide my sickness. Colorful, hip dress with black Harley boots. The better I look, sometimes the worse I feel, both physically and mentally. I adorn myself with makeup and jewelry. Perfectly placed Russian red lipstick. Plucked and perfectly penciled in eyebrows. And on a really bad day, coal black eyeliner with mascara. I know it will take an extra effort to take off all this makeup later on, when I arrive home in pain. But it's worth it. Makes me feel better. I don't like to look sick. Sometimes, on my worst days, I go out to an art opening, decked out to the nines, even just for an hour. I adorn myself with big, flashy earrings, bangles, and rings. My hair, a perfect platinum. I strut down the main drag as if I'm the picture of health, free from disease or infirmity, if only for an hour to see some much cherished art. Then, white-knuckling it, I sneak back to my car and drive myself home. Another night of camouflage.
Hand soap. Nice smelling hand soap can give you a lift. A morning of picturing myself sneaking into the garage in the middle of the night with Ted asleep in his bed, getting into the car and starting it up, the appropriate hose rigged up, of course. With a glass of red wine in my hand, yes, red. I know I'm forbidden because of the migraines, but I'll be gone before one can kick in. Some pot and a cigarette. Yes, I'm going out partying. Can you blame me? Oh, and Nancy, I'll take her too. My final gift to Ted. A murder-suicide. The little parrot that Ted hates. I'll take her too, and he can finally get some peace and quiet. People often take their pets. I don't need to be original. Besides, she'll be of some comfort to me sitting on my shoulder, shitting on me. Oh, the hand soap, I almost forgot. The beautiful smelling hand soap. It smells delicious, absolutely yummy, like gardenias with a pinch of peach. And warmness, like a tiny hint of sandalwood, was carefully folded in by a hippie at the last moment. I wash my hands and I am pulled out of all despair by a few sweet-smelling botanicals. I hold my hands to my nose and breathe. Ah, the complex combination hits me. Ah, delightful. I smell again, delectable. Aromatherapy really does work. I am pulled out by a little sweet-smelling hand soap. I am pulled out, and I sit down to write.
The Iron Man and his puddle. You exercise again, getting ever stronger. I lie in a puddle on the bed. At 53, you walk, hike, and bike daily. At 58, losing my battle with scoliosis, I lie down and recline and sleep to avoid my ever-growing pain. A daily burning ache in my upper back, a new constant companion joining the rest. I often crumble into bed at 4 or 5. You punch your punching bag in the garage. Your muscles getting more powerful, getting weaker and weaker. I am unable to walk up the hill. My thoracic spine twisting inside me curves to 40 degrees. Without my shirt on, you can see how it has deformed me. My back right shoulder blade now jutting out, underneath it a hump starting to bulge. I am threatened now with an entire thoracic fusion, joining my lumbar spine, which is already entirely fused. Always just a Band-Aid, never a perfect solution, the only fix to prevent my spine from crushing my vital organs. If I must have a third spinal fusion, I will only bend at the waist. I will no longer be able to put on my own shoes. I will move as one solid piece. No longer able to pivot, I will have to turn around completely when someone calls my name behind me. I will no longer be able to take a bath. Straight as a board, my spine will no longer allow for the curve of the tub. Walking, hiking, biking, and punching, you get mightier and mightier. In pain, I have to refuse you sex again. Will you stay when I am just a puddle on my bed, when my skin falls off my bone? I live in constant terror of your ever-strengthening body. Will you tire of walking, hiking, biking alone? Will someone on a trail catch your eye who can do all those things? My mother is no longer here to take care of me. Will my sisters want to or be able? You sprint with the dog in the backyard. I watch you from the window.
Secret poem. I have a secret poem where I tell you that if the pain in my stomach turns out to be terminal cancer, I will be relieved. But of course I can't show you this poem because I'll be told that I'm depressed and everyone will realize that they have to help me. And I'll have a medication change and so on and so on and so on. Boring. In my poem, I'll make it clear. I do not want to suffer anymore. I have suffered enough. I hope that Buddhism is wrong. I don't want to come back. It was marvelous in many ways, but grief, illness, violence, and pain have caused me to suffer too much. I have a secret poem where I tell you that you have made me the happiest woman ever. But if the pain in my stomach I feel while doing dishes after dinner is terminal cancer, I will be relieved. I mean it. I am weary. I stay only because I know that if I kill myself, I will be killing every one of you. I have a secret poem that I can never show you.
Cortisol tummy. Another episode without the mania. No outrageous shopping, no talking a mile a minute, no feeling on top of the world, just anxiety, extreme anxiety, and knowing I must do anything to make it stop. Suicide thoughts and the terror that comes with believing that I would actually do it. I participate in putting myself away for 26 days in a rundown psych ward, a month of sheer terror, with bitter and cruel nurses and doctors that keep changing my meds, not a respite to make me well. I am worse when I get out than when I went in. Not suicidal anymore, just broken and fat. Some points in life are meant to just get past. I rub my tubby cortisol tummy, try to soothe away the pain.
This is all I remember. Fight. I walk out of my room, look at the door at the end of the hall, and decide to make a run for it. I'm in the loony bin after all. Fight. Several guards surround me. I kick and bite at the air. They tackle me to the ground. I am shoved into some wheelbarrow thingy, pinned down hard, and rolled out into the bright sunlight. They hurt me as they hold me down. I scream, my scoliosis, you're hurting me. They wheel me into another building. Freeze. I stand in front of the nurse's station in another booby hatch. I try to tell my story. A mean nurse tells me to shut up. She presses her index finger hard on the center of my forehead and makes me stare into her eyes. The power of Jesus of Nazareth will heal you, she says. I don't believe her.
Mustache. I grew a full mustache in the psych ward. They don't allow grooming tools. They can be used as weapons. Daily, I feel above my upper lip in horror. Strangely, always a fear of mine, being in a coma in a hospital somewhere, growing a full beard. I used to tell my husband, if it ever happens, you have to take care of it. And put lipstick on too for visitors. 26 days and I was set free. Saw Ted for the first time. Shaky and fragile. I just wanted to feel well. Still, no one wants to greet her husband with a mustache. But I did. And lo and behold, he said it was cute. Yes, cute. Oh boy, that kind of love. you just cannot make up.
My new mental med. My new mental med makes my leg bounce. A lot. It's driving me crazy. Perfect. The rest of my body can be completely still, and there goes my leg. Bounce, bounce, bounce. I sit in a chair and focus on my leg not bouncing. There goes my leg. Bounce, bounce, bounce. I try and picture the surplus energy escaping from the ends of my eyelashes when I blink so that no one will notice. Blink, blink, blink. Uh-oh. Blink, 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 blink. An overabundance of eye blinking could be a problem. People would notice. I proudly carry the badge of being the most mentally ill in my family. I have the most diagnoses. I run into the bathroom to claim my prize. More pills. Ha-ha. I win. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Blink, blink, blink.
Your smug wellness. Hey, healthy people. Fuck you and your smug wellness. I hate all you well people. You people with your healthy genes who take total credit for your endless wellness, who wear their wellness like a badge of honor as something they and they alone have earned. It wasn't even Stevens, you fuckers. Not from the beginning. We didn't start out the same, you and me. You juicers. You turmeric takers, you fish oil pushers. Be humble in your wellness. Someone sitting next to you does not have your strong bones, your genes, your mighty constitution, your happy, trauma-free childhood. And it's not their fault. Perfectly strong and healthy people get cancer every day and they did not earn it. Be grateful for the wonderful wellness you inherited. That is the only acceptable way to be. And leave my shit body and broken brain alone. I got enough troubles without your Mr. Fix-It bullshit.
My mentally ill friends. My mentally ill friends and I share our secrets. I used to be on Prozac. It pooped me out. So now I'm on fluvoxamine. Don't tell anyone. We are ashamed. My mentally ill friends and I share our secrets. I've been having suicidal thoughts. Someone at work told me just to breathe. You don't breathe right, they said. Take a yoga class. Don't tell anyone. We are ashamed. My mentally ill friends and I share secrets. I just read that childhood trauma has been identified as a significant risk factor for developing mental health disorders later in life. Death of a loved one, violence in the home, molestation. We tick all the boxes. This is us, we say. Yippee! We are liberated. Would you be one of my mentally ill friends? I will keep all your secrets. Don't be ashamed.
Superfly. I'm done talking about the mental hospital. Finished. People don't like it. They don't get that the only person you wanted to hurt was yourself. And if they do, they don't like it. It's weak, creepy. They don't like weakness or creepery. It's not cool. This world likes cool. People like badass, superfly, rich, hip, pretty motherfuckers who would never hurt themselves. That's me now. I'm cool. I'm a badass, superfly, rich, hip, pretty motherfucker, and don't you forget it.
And you can have a drink, get some wine and beer.
It doesn't have to be like.
I'm tracking you in, Paris. Oh, yeah.